Hi guys, welcome to my Bajerski YouTube channel. Beautiful day today is today. Topic of conversation today. It's a really interesting one. I've been seeing it all over the social media, all over the platforms, all over blogs, everywhere at the moment. And it's a really interesting one, and it's throwing people here and there. People are kind of agreeing with it, some are disagreeing with it. So it's a really interesting subject. And the subject today is spiritual bypass. So what does that mean? What is that all about? 2 minutes. I'm just on the video. 2 minutes. Okay, thank you. So, sorry. I said I wouldn't stop a video. One of the beautiful Balinese were coming for to show me something. Okay, so I'll continue anyway. What is spiritual bypass? What are they trying to make out? What are people saying about this, and what does it mean? At the moment, people are talking about people who sit on pink fluffy clouds, who run away from altercations, from fighting, from people wanting to have conversations about certain things. The situations that you go through life, everyday situations, they're basically saying that if you are wanting to walk a spiritual path, you have to go through all of those things to enlighten, to grow spiritually. Okay. Now here's the thing, I'm 51 years old now. At 51 years old, I have spent 38 years going through all of that crap that they talk about we have to go through to be able to raise and rise and spiritually grow. Actually, I never spiritually grew at all. And why? Because I was always involved in conflict, in altercations with people who were trying to tell me this and that, people trying to pull me down, people punching me physically, emotionally, people telling me what I should and shouldn't do, who I worked for, the opportunities that I got, my path, my growth. I was being bombarded every single day with all of these, what these people call as earthly challenges. Okay, so I'm telling you from my perspective, I never grew at all. I was too busy in that pain and suffering. Now let's put a side point to this, sidebar, okay? You know as well as I do now, or you should do, that when you post something on social media, it's normally about what you're going through at any given moment, right? So all you need to do is look at anybody's post. That gives you an idea of where they are at that given moment in their life, their personal journey, their personal path, their spiritual path that they're walking. Okay, that makes sense, right? Okay, so I often see this with a lot of so-called self-helpers, people who are sharing their truth. What they're actually sharing is not truth per se. They're actually sharing their spiritual journey and path, what they believe is right. So take for instance, the other day there was a lady who claims to be a psychologist, psychiatrist, spiritual helper, and she talks about this, be careful when you want to do this spiritual bypass. You know, you can't live like that, you can't live in a bubble, you've got to experience all of these things. I took a good look at her and thought, let's just see, let's make sure I'm on the right track here. When I found out about her, having spoke to a few of my friends, guess what? She's in a situation in her life that she's stuck in, that she can't move out from. She's in a relationship where she's stuck and she can't get out of it, okay? Right, one. I met another person who spoke of this as well. And this person was in a place of being on her own, walking a spiritual path. But when I started learning about her life too, and when I started finding things out, that she was stuck emotionally, spiritually, and everything. She couldn't move forward, and she kept on going through this pain and suffering, and she wasn't able to break free and to move forward. So what happens then is that these people write a subject that is part of their life So what they're trying to do is say, okay, I'm going through this crap, but how can I feel better? So what they do is they write about this situation. And what they do is, and it's very clever, they will throw themselves out of the way and focus on somebody else and say what they're doing is wrong to make them feel better. Okay? Now, take for instance my life. 38 years of chasing my tail, going through all of that stuff. Now, for the next 15 years thereafter, I let go of people, I stopped fighting, I stopped getting involved in other people's crap, I stopped bickering, I stopped judging, I stopped with my opinions. I thought, you know what, I need to focus on myself. I walked away from a home in the UK, I went to another country, okay, left everything behind. Then everything else I've done thereafter, I've done for myself, and I have become what is known in their life as a spiritual bypass. Yet here I am. I have never felt as spiritual in my life. I've never felt at peace as much as at peace in my life right now than ever before. And yet what they talk about is dangerous. What I am doing, they're saying, is dangerous. The only thing that's dangerous is what they're saying, because what they're saying is that basically they're frightened to move forward in their life and sacrifice, let go of other people. So that's it. That's the bottom line with this. As far as I'm aware and concerned, I've had two of the spectrums of both. I know what it's like to hold on to everybody, to love them no matter how much they hurt me. It doesn't matter what they said, what they did, their actions, their whatever. I was always there for them all the time. I lived that life. 38 years, didn't serve me at all. And then I changed my life and said, what about me? Let me be a bit selfish, which isn't selfish at all. And then I started working on myself. I started letting go of all of these people, and all of a sudden now, a new world comes about. Now, let's talk about spiritual bypass, shall we? I have never attuned to spirit more than I have to this day. I feel more, I'm more sensitive, I'm more powerful with that sensitive because I'm not a mess, I'm not a wreck anymore, I'm not worried about anything. Therefore I'm able to attune to a higher state than I've ever attuned in my life for 15 years of working. It's taken 15 years though, 15 years of saying no, 15 years of letting go, 15 years of not feeling guilty, okay, 15 years of saying send love, send love, send love. Yeah, that's right, send love, because when you send love, you are love, you become love. You step into a world of what they're talking about. If you don't become a spiritual bypass person, you have to live a life, you have to go through that, you have to feel this, you have to do that, and at the same time then you become strong. No, you don't become strong at all. You stay in that energy of weakness and fear and worries. I'm living proof of it. That's my truth, okay? Now I stand before you and say I have done it, and I am telling you, I have never felt better in my life. I have never been more attuned to my higher path and spiritual growth. The stories that I'm writing now about in my next book, Diary of an Accidental Psychic Part 2, are going to blow you away. You're going to say, no, impossible. No, it is possible. It's possible when you stop listening to these people that say, no, that's life. You've got to accept that. That's how it is. And if you walk away from everything, then you'll never grow. BS. Sorry guys, BS. They only say that to make themselves feel better because they can't walk away from things that we have to walk away from sometimes to find our higher selves. And to finalize on one last point, okay, just one last point. The Buddha, Jesus. Do you want me to continue? All these people who said goodbye to their families to find their higher spiritual self, to become the enlightened ones. Need I say any more? Okay guys, leave that with you. Please send your comments underneath. I'm always happy and interested to hear them. This is my truth, and that's all I can offer today, and I hope it helps a little bit. So whenever you read the fear-based stuff that tries to keep you in the fear by saying be careful not to become a spiritual, be involved in the spiritual bypass of spirituality, now you have a different take. A take from somebody who is 51 years old, who has felt both of those energies and know, and I'm here now for you to see. What do you think? What do you feel? And then when you look at the people who talk about these spiritual bypasses, have a look at them. listen to them, see where they are in their life. Then it gives you an understanding that everything that is said and written about is always about the person who's writing about it. Okay, that includes me. Sometimes I get pissed off and get upset, and I post something about that certain feeling I'm feeling today. So just take notice of that, guys. Okay. From my heart to yours, thank you for buying your crystals from my Bajerski YouTube channel. Thank you for buying your incense sticks, cleansing insect sticks. They're going really well at the moment. Thank you so much. They are the best in the world for sure. And everything else. And I'll crack on with my next chapter in Diary of an Accidental Psychic Part 2, which is the day I met my mother in spirit. And yes, I've been crying all morning. Have a great day, guys, from my heart to yours. Be strong, by the way. Be strong. Don't let people upset you. Don't let people make you feel bad. You're not here to let people make you feel bad. That isn't a spiritual path. You're here for people to love you for who you are, so you can love them back for who they are. It's that simple. Don't be fooled by other people. It's just that they're stuck in their place and they can't move on, so they're trying to justify it by writing all of these things. Okay? Take care. Bye.